The monster skull in-game is actually smaller than the original monster skull. So if that is not the original monster, then what is it? We are checking out crazy unsolved mysteries in Fortnite that only now we have the answers. Yo, it would seem the giant monster skull that is in our Fortnite game isn't actually that giant. What? Well, it would seem a new mystery has been uncovered in our Fortnite game. Has anybody else noticed that the actual giant monster skull of the polar bear monster is actually a lot smaller than the original monster? Like, by a lot. The giant monster was the Devourer, the polar bear monster that was in Season 9 of Chapter 1's final event. The Devourer was massive, and when it was slain, its skull remained on the island. Now, fast forward on to Chapter 3, we already know that somebody is digging up the giant monster skull, but, yo, something is up here. It's a little difficult to see, unless you put both these images next to each other, but one alarming thing stands out. Oh my goodness, bro, what is going on over there? Yo, concentrate, Max. One alarming thing stands out, that the monster skull that is in our game right now, the one that we think belonged to the polar peak monster, the Devourer, is much smaller than the original version. Hey, I mean, don't take my word for it. We can literally prove it in game right now, well, in creative. And we can actually spawn the original giant monster skull that was in our game, the same monster skull that was on our Chapter 1 island when the beast was defeated. You actually get to see how big this monster skull actually is. We can stand in the exact same place that we did in game a moment ago. And you guys are gonna see the difference. Here is the giant crack with the sword actually broke through the skull of the beast, but we were literally in game a moment ago in Chapter 3, standing on top of this part of the monster bones, and as you can see, like, it's so much bigger. It's crazy. I mean, look how far back this goes. This goes all the way to the point here where the monster skull was shattered. But in our Fortnite game, it's like, it's just not comparable. It's too small. In fact, if we actually shrink down the monster skull just a little bit and stand on it, this looks much closer to what we have in game right now. You can see the similarity within the sizes. I think this is pretty good. Of course, this is one that we just made. And as you can see, the reality is shocking. That's the one that we just made now. That resembles closely to what it is in game. And that is the actual original monster skull that was in Chapter 1. There is definitely a size difference here. So the question is, what is really going on, Epic? We need to know. Hey, that's one mystery solved. Yo, back to the lobby, player. Oh, well, maybe we already do know the answers. Maybe Epic Games doesn't need to tell us because they've kind of already told us. If this monster skull is actually smaller in our Fortnite game, is it actually possible that this is not the original monster in our Fortnite game? This isn't the Devourer. Maybe this is a younger version, a smaller version. Maybe there is another giant monster in our Fortnite history that is yet to be discovered. Maybe the giant monster that was in our Chapter 1 game has not yet arrived to our island. And in fact, this is just a smaller version that once lived long ago. And well, it would explain why it's buried deep underground. Because if you remember in Chapter 1, the monster skull was not buried underground. It was on top of the ground. But this monster skull is definitely buried because somebody is literally digging under the ground to find the truth. Hey, and we're digging under the ground to find literally garbage. But better than what I've got, so I'll take it. A secret in game right now that you may not have noticed is when you arrive to the bone skulls that are in our game, the location is called the Devourer, which of course is a little different to the actual name of the beast, which is called the Devourer. This is a super curious mystery that is yet to be solved because we believed the monster to be called the Devourer. So why has Epic Games changed the name to the Devourer at this particular location? Well, as the theory may possibly go, if this is, of course, not the original monster that was in our Fortnite game, but another version, a smaller version, a baby version, then maybe this isn't the original. Maybe this was a version much smaller to the polar bear monster, and it was actually devoured in our game. Yo, I'll be like that llama over there. Yo, rest in pepperonis. Bye. Maybe this beast has actually been eaten. That is what devoured actually means. The name of this location literally means eaten, consumed. Is it possible that there was once a smaller monster in our game and it was devoured, eaten alive by something much bigger? And in fact, there is multiple giant monsters in our Fortnite history waiting to get into our game. Holy smokes, bro. I was in that building not 20 seconds ago. And literally, if I was 20 seconds slower, that would be me right there. That's me. Oh, snappers. Oh, Yo, thanks for the dope transition, bro. This may not be the only mystery solved in today's video, because we may have figured out who's actually digging for these beasts' bones. You guys know where the Devourer's location right now, the monster skull that is in-game. Somebody seems to be digging deep down into the ground, trying to uncover the bones. Well, for a long period in time, we didn't actually know who was behind this digging. All we knew that this yellow logo that we believed represented the government was to blame. The trucks at this location are holding this yellow logo, which of course, for players who are playing in Chapter 1 would know that this logo made an appearance, and it was literally called the government because we had no idea who it belonged to. Fast forwarding all the way to Chapter 3, but more specifically in the game's files, leakers have uncovered that the same logo has made an appearance in the files, but on Imagined Order trucks. Literally, the logos of the Imagined Order and the logos of this ancient, iconic, legendary logo from Chapter 1 are appearing on the same vehicle. This is leading players to believe the obvious, that the Imagined Order themselves are actually the government. The government all the way from Chapter 1. This may not be a big surprise to you guys. The Imagined Order are all over our island. So it doesn't surprise us that they would be trying to dig up the monster bones, which is something we predicted. But this leak does officially confirm that this is true. It was speculated the Imagined Order were trying to take over, but nope, it is true. It is the Imagined Order here that are trying to uncover this beast. Mystery solved. Oh my goodness, what the... Oh my god, what was I looking at? Holy Jonesy, looks like this fight is still going on, huh? Hey, mind if I play? Oh, yes, sir. Hey, sorry, Spidey. Looks like I'm the good guy this time. Oh, what a surprise, huh? Victory Royale, we're not even done with the video. Victory Royale. Yo, today's a good day, huh? An unsolved mystery does still remain. Why was the Devourer, the polar beak monster, green? Well, this is still a question that we do not have an answer to. Well, we're actually getting closer. You remember? Polar beak monster arrived to our Fortnite game actually shooting green lasers, which didn't really seem to make a lot of sense for a monster trapped inside an iceberg. It was believed at the time, well, at least by myself, that the monster was actually mutated, which would explain why the monster only had one eye, and also why it might be shooting green toxic lasers. But we never knew why the monster was mutated. Who was working on the monster's mutation? Who caused this damage to the beast? Well, there seems to only be one answer that could best be described right now. Out the way, fella. Well, it might best be explained by the Imagined Order. We literally just spoke about how the Imagined Order have been digging up the monster skull, the bones in our Fortnite game. So if there was somebody messing around attempting to mutate some kind of beast, maybe it was the Imagined Order. Maybe the Imagined Order at some point had trapped the beast, messing around with it, mutating it, and accidentally released it onto our Chapter 1 island. Damn you, Imagined Order! Always messing up everything, like literally every time, bro. If it wasn't for the Imagined Order, we would still be on our Chapter 2 islands, you know, with all the crazy locations, like you know, Tilted Tout, no, Beanie Stacks, question mark? Hey, maybe you did us a favor, Imagined Order. Yo, Chapter 3 is lit. Support a creator code on screen right now. Guys, let me know what you think about everything we've discussed in today's video. Do you have any answers for these mysteries that we are trying to solve? And if you enjoyed this video, why not check out the one on screen right now? It's very similar, and I think you're gonna like it. Guys, I'm gonna catch you all on the next crazy Chapter 3 Fortnite video. Thanks, guys. Peace.